video, we will present to you our comprehension of one of the most notable artworks established in the Philippines history, the Rizal Monument. Together with my group, we took a trip to Luneta Park to examine its beauty and delve into its history. This is our Philippine archaeology project, the Rizal Monument.
Tingnan mo yung balat, yago mong kamay sa hirap ng buhay. Dami mong problema, nakulo pang ngiti.
Hi, I'm here today at the Rizal Monument, as you can see right there. The monument is situated at what is currently considered the largest urban park in Asia, the Luneta Park. The park is thronged with tourists and local bystanders alike. Most of the tourists visit the park because of this very monument. Of all historical monuments of the country, it is considered the most recognizable and most photographed. But what exactly is the big deal about this monument?
Under the United States Philippine Commission Act No. 243, the monument was approved to be built by the U.S. President Theodore Roosevelt, dated September 28, 1901. The act initiated the allocation of land for the memorial in the Luneta area, near the place where Rizal was executed on December 30, 1896. Rizal's statue was to be put up in the memorial, where his remains will also finally be placed, according to the act. The act created a committee which included Jose Rizal's brother, Paciano, to supervise and raise funds for the project. But who exactly built this monument? Let's find out.
What is interesting about the sculpture of Rizal that lies here is that it wasn't designed by a Filipino. When the committee, including Paciano Rizal, was able to gain enough funds, they organized a contest to design a sculpture for the monument. They invited sculptors from all over the world to take part in the competition, which was launched and held between 1905 and 1907. Artists even from Europe went all the way to the Philippines just to show their talent. The winner of the competition would then be awarded a 5,000 peso prize and contract worth 100,000 pesos, which was a really significant amount of money during that time. It seemed well planned out, but who knew that it would eventually lead to controversy.
In the contest, all the design entries were scale models made of plaster called bocetos. 40 artists submitted their bocetos, which was narrowed down to the top 10. Finally, out of the 10 scale models, the one that stood out the most was a sculpture called Al Martir de Bagumbayan by Carlo Niccoli, sculpture from Carrara, Italy.
Here is where the controversy comes in. The monument that you see right here is not designed by Carlo Niccoli. This, in fact, is the idea of Swiss sculptor Richard Kissling, whose design achieved second place in the competition. He received a 2,000 peso prize, and what caused such a stir was that he was the one who received the contract, which was rightfully for Carlo Niccoli.
He reportedly didn't take it too well. I wouldn't either. The Italian sculptor has allegedly filed a complaint with the courts of justice. There were plenty of speculation regarding why Niccoli's design was not used. Some say the artist failed to come up with the 20,000 peso bond, which was to guarantee the artist's completion of the sculpture. Some say Niccoli wasn't present during the signing of the contract, and others would claim that Kisling's quotations were much cheaper compared to that of Niccoli's. Kisling was from Wolfville, Switzerland. After his apprenticeship as a plasterer, he moved to Rome and lived there for 30 years. Studying under the sculptor Ferdinand Schloth, his design, which is the one I'm standing with right now, is called Moto Stella, which means guiding light. Niccoli's design was very elaborate and perhaps too European for the then empty and grassy Luneta Park. Kisling's, however, is simple and represents a subtle kind of strength. Jose Rizal at the foot of an obelisk based by a pile of rocks and surrounded by representations of the Filipino community. Struggling for a better future, a mother representing family and two young boys reading, representing education and enlightenment.
Kisling's design was criticized by many, calling it vulgar, which means lousy. Even the credibility of the judging panel was questioned, since none of them were even artists, architects, nor engineers. They They even planned to call famous Filipino painter Felix Resurreccion Hidalgo to inspect and modify the design. It was later cancelled as the bronze part of the statue was already being cast in Switzerland. It actually cost more than expected and took 12 years to finish. It was finally unveiled on Rizal's 17th death anniversary on December 30, 1913.
100 years after Jose Rizal's birth in 1961, a stainless steel pylon was put on top of the granite obelisk, undertaken by the Jose Rizal National Centennial Commission. The height of the monument rose from 12.7 meters to 30.5 meters. It was intended to be a guide for incoming boats in the Manila Bay and for people who got lost to find their way around the city. It was widely criticized and was later removed in 1963.
During the Second World War in 1943, money was issued by the Japanese military government, which had the monument imprinted on it. It must be the most significant historical monument in the Philippines that the invaders actually considered using it to be printed on their money. It commemorates the Philippines' national hero, his advocacy, and in itself has been encompassed by events that shaped up the identity of the country. Today it stands peacefully at the Luneta Park where visitors can appreciate its splendor.
Our references are located at the video information at the bottom. We hope you picked up a thing or two, and hopefully will look at the Rizal Monument with more than a fleeting sense of
Huwag
interest.
kang
From now on, thank you
matatakot
for watching.
sa barilo patalim sa bakas na madilim.